Thanks, Jerry, and thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me the opportunity to present the Azure Minerals story to you. We're an ASX-listed company based here in Perth, but we work solely in Mexico. We've focused in northern Mexico, which is what's classified as a Tier 1 mining district. There are numerous mines in that part of the world which are world-class copper and precious metal mines. That part of Mexico, very safe, very secure, very stable environment for exploration and for mining. And with that long history of mining in that part of the world, there's a very strong acceptance of mining by the local communities, the local governments and state and federal authorities as well. So it's a good place to be doing business. We've got two main projects there which I'll briefly talk about today. One is the Oposura zinc, lead and silver project, and the other one is the Alacrán silver, gold and copper. Sorry, silver and gold particularly. So with the Alacrán project, now this is silver and gold, an epithermal style of mineralisation. So high-grade silver and gold sitting at surface, and the work that we've done over the past few years has identified two resources in the area which total 32 million ounces of silver and 150,000 ounces of gold. And within that there is a very high-grade at-surface resource of over 15 million ounces at nearly 10 ounces to the tonne. And we're currently drilling in that area at the moment with the expectation that we'll be increasing the size of those resources, and that resource increase will be carried out over the next few months. And the Oposura project is a skarn-style massive sulphide zinc, lead and silver mineralisation. And we put out a mineral resource on this last year, and 153,000 ounces of zinc and tonnes of zinc and 84,000 tonnes of lead. It's very, very easy, simple deposit there. It's flat-lying, massive sulphides. We went in there late last year and decided to take out a large bulk sample of about 6,000 tonnes of mineralisation that was outcropping. So this is fresh massive sulphides which outcrop at surface. And we mined over 6,000 tonnes there, grading 13.5% zinc and about 10.5% lead. And that material has been stockpiled on surface and is currently being trial processed through a third-party mill with the intention of producing concentrates for sale. So talking firstly about Alacrán, this is one of the great mining locations in the world. You can see there on the screen the land disturbance in the upper central part of the slide. That's the Cananea copper mine. It's one of the top 5 copper mines in the world. If you look in terms of tonnes moved per day, it's in the top 3, and it's about number 4 in the world in terms of copper produced on an annual basis. It's got a 200-year mine life, over 8 billion tonnes of reserves sitting there. We've got 50 square kilometres of land sitting just to the southeast of that, and that's the only land that's held in the area by what you might call an independent, a non-mining company. There are another 6 copper mines that operate in the region. So with that 54 square kilometres of land there, we're in a very strong position land ownership-wise. On our ground, we've got the 32 million ounces of silver and 150,000 ounces of gold and resources you can see in the top left-hand corner of our land package. And over on the eastern side, there is an historical copper resource that was drilled in the 1990s, and it's an area that, as it's copper and it's porphyry and it's large and it's low grade, it's not our main focus, which is definitely the precious metals. And because it's in this mining district, and because of the intensity of mining there is a significant amount of local infrastructure. So you're talking about the town of Cananea, which is about a 30,000 population, similar in size to Kalgoorlie, and it's got all of the facilities and services that you need to be able to carry out exploration and mining in the district. So the area is very well serviced. So looking at zooming in on the project area itself, as I said, 54 square kilometres. The main area that we've focused in is in the northwest section, where we've got 2 deposits, Mesa de Plata silver deposit and the Loma Bonita gold deposit, gold and silver. And both of those deposits we drilled in 2015, 2016. We then had a hiatus where we had a joint venture partner, Teck, came in and they carried out some copper exploration, particularly on the eastern side. And we got the project back from them in the middle of last year, and so we now own the project again 100% with no partners involved. That's the area off to the east that Teck Resources really focused on. In that particular area, there's over 50 deep diamond drill holes into a large porphyry copper body. It's large, it's low grade, and it's something that we're very not focused on, but other copper-focused companies are interested. So looking at the two deposits that we've got, Mesa de Plata, which is silver only, and Loma Bonita, which is silver and gold, they're both hilltop deposits. They sit on top of the hill, they form the cappings on the top of the hill, and that gives it significant advantages when it comes to mining, particularly seeing the highest grade parts of those two deposits are actually the surface parts of those deposits. So when it comes to a mining operation in there, that you'd be mining the best bits first, and that certainly leads itself to significant financial advantages. With the outcrop that we've got there, there's no overburden, so simple open pit mining. The metallurgy on both the projects looks very positive. We've been getting up to the high 90% range recoveries for the gold and in the 60 to 70% range for the silver, and we're continuing to do optimisation studies, particularly on the silver extraction, to try and maximise that. So this particular area there, the size of what it's there at the moment, plus some additional resources which should come from the current drilling program, we foresee there's a simple mining and processing operation that, because of the high grades and the at-surface nature of the mineralisation, would have potentially a profitable mining operation. So where we're working at the moment is here in the northwest section. So we've got Mesa de Plata with 27.5 million ounces of silver, and Loma Bonita, 150,000 ounces of gold, nearly 5 million ounces of silver there. We're particularly focused the drilling on the gold-rich zone at Loma Bonita, and we're currently drilling in there at the moment. And there's two holes I'd like to point out which were announced last week, with one that's right on the edge of the resource boundary, which is shown in where the red dots are, and one just outside. But particularly this one on the edge of the resource, 126 metres at 2 grams per tonne gold from surface, continually mineralised, nothing under half a gram, nothing over 10 grams, consistently strongly mineralised with gold throughout that hole. So that will add significant ounces to the resource. And we're currently drilling additionally around the southern area around here, and there will be some results announced around those drill holes next week. We've also got potential further down to the southeast, where we've done historical drilling, and also Teck did some historical drilling, and there's wide zones of 30, 50, 60 metre wide, running half a gram to a gram gold in there, and it's an area that's never been followed up until this current drilling program. So there'll be some news on that coming out shortly as well. So with Alacrán, we've got a lot of activity happening out there at the moment. The drilling's in progress. It's a 4,000 metre RC drilling program, which should be wrapping up in the next couple of weeks. And then we'll have the resource upgrade for the Loma Bonita gold and silver mineralisation. We're also doing that little extra drilling on some of the greenfields targets we've got in the area, and there's certainly a significant number of old mine workings, shafts and small open pits which have never been drilled under, and those are areas or targets that we're looking at as part of the current program. And importantly, we're carrying out this advanced metallurgical test work on particularly the silver mineralisation from Mesa de Plata, to be able to increase the recoveries from the current 60 to 70% to a much higher level. And we have that work is underway at the moment. So that's the Alacrán project. Now looking at the Oposura project. Now this is one that we bought about 2 years ago. It's very high grade zinc, lead and silver, massive sulphide, skarn style of deposit. Our tenement package is shown there in blue. At the moment there are two parts to the deposit. There's an east zone and a west zone, which are both part of the current resource, which is around about 3.1 million tonnes of combined about 8% zinc and lead. And between those two there is a very aptly named central zone, which we've got a few holes into but doesn't count in the resource at the moment. But each of those holes is strongly mineralised as well. So the potential resources plus with additional drilling the central zone, we see a sort of something around the 5 million tonne mark is achievable. We've been carrying out a small amount of open pit mining work, and I'll talk about that just in a moment. But really what we're doing is trying to take this through as quickly as possible to a development and production scenario. And as you can see, since 2017 we have ticked a lot of the boxes. And the trial processing is underway at the moment. That started a couple of months ago, and we're currently producing a bulk zinc and lead concentrate, and we'll talk a bit more about that in a moment. So with this mineralisation that we've got here, it being such high grade, being at surface, it's an area that's had attracted previous attention or attention by previous owners, and the previous owner, the ones that we bought the project from, had actually fully permitted this for a small-scale mining and processing operation, and we've inherited that permit. So the project at the moment is operating under that mining and processing permission that's been given. So going forward, we see if we want to expand that into a much larger scale mining and processing operation. In Mexico, it's really a matter of putting in an addendum or a variation to an existing permit, which should make permitting that much easier going forward. The mining that we carried out late last year was small, open pit. We mined just over 6,000 tonnes of nearly 24% combined zinc and lead, and within that there was a very, very high-grade zone it was about a face of about 4 to 5 metres high of just massive lead and zinc sulphides. And we mined that mineralisation out in over a couple of weeks, and there's 2,000 tonnes in there running well over 40% combined zinc and lead. So in effect, that is almost direct shipping ore in its own right. And that's some of the material that we're currently processing. So this is just a quick photograph, a drone shot of the open pit mine. The mineralisation is horizontal. It wraps around the hill here. That's the face of the mineralisation in there, around about 4 to 5 metres high. And the mineralisation goes horizontally in underneath this hill. So the mining is, at the moment, is what we've been doing, is taking a scallop off the side of the hill and mining out the mineralisation and stockpiling it here, and it's been taken off to separate stockpiles elsewhere on the property. And in addition to that, just sitting in here, there's a tunnel that goes in here that was put in the 1970s, a 2 metre by 2 metre exploration tunnel that's 400 metres long, and it goes from this side of the ore body right underneath that hill out the other side of the ore body. So we've actually got this 400 metre long excavation right through the middle of the ore body, and obviously we've been mapping and sampling that, and there's excellent access into high-grade parts of the ore body underneath that hill by entering that through that tunnel. And even though that's 40 years old, the ground conditions are so good is that it's still standing up without or with minimal ground support in there. So it's a great asset to have. So we mined the 6,000 tonnes, and we've taken some of that material down to a local processing facility. We took down to start with low-grade material, so material that was running 5% zinc, 5% lead, and we put it through the crushing, grinding, flotation process, and we produced a bulk zinc lead concentrate that's running of the order of 35% zinc and 20% lead. So we upgraded the zinc from about 5 to 35%. We upgraded the lead from about 5% to 20%, so significant upgrades. And that bulk zinc and lead concentrate is currently being stockpiled on site, and we're in discussions with various offtake parties and metals trading companies to sell that product to them, and those talks are ongoing at the moment. So there, as far as Azure goes, is the story. We've got 2 great projects in a really great mining jurisdiction, and we've got projects that cover both precious metals, silver and gold, and base metals with the lead, zinc and some silver. The work going forward will be to continue to drill to grow the existing resource base that we've got at Alacrán, with the intention of completing development studies with a view to taking it through to production. We'll also be testing a number of the greenfields exploration targets that we've got on that same project. And at Oposura, we will be continuing to trial process while we optimise both the physical characteristics of the plant, some of the infrastructure of the plant, but also optimising the reagent usage, etc., of the material to produce that material. And those concentrates that we're producing, the bulk zinc and lead concentrate, looks to be saleable. Certainly there's strong interest from a number of trading companies, metals trading companies from around the world, and we hope to be able to have some news in the near future whereby we'll be able to announce that our concentrates will be sold in the future going forward. So that's the story of Azure Minerals. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony.